Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a cataloging stream. So basically what we're going to be doing today is instead of playing any games, we're going to be putting games into a list. And by list, I mean Backloggery.com. For anyone who doesn't know who Backloggery.com is, which is probably most of you, it is a website where you can, Oh, hello. Thank you for the follow, Manami Tsunami. That's a cool name. And also Cybernova. I actually saw you a little bit earlier. Thank you for the follow as well. You've heard of Let's Plays. Now get ready for Let's Plays. How's the Grinch 100% going? Not. Okay, I guess we can go touch on that real quick. So. Yo, hello everybody. Wow, this is a surprisingly active chat. It's pretty good. But okay, so basically we what did we do? We beat the Grinch. We got it up to 199%, and the only percentage left to do is just find a bunch of gifts. And I spent a very long time the last stream trying to do that. It just wasn't fun. So I'm like, I don't really want to do that too much if I have to be perfectly honest. But in 5 seconds you've gotten the multi-chat achievement I never got. Well, I mean, I think it has to be like consistent. So, if you guys want to, be active in chat, that'd be very much appreciated. Of course, you can lurk if you want to. You don't have to be active all the time if you don't feel like it, but that's okay. Anyways, okay, so back to the cataloging. So we're just going to be putting games into Backloggery.com. It is a website that you can use to put your games list and, see what you haven't done yet with like the hundreds, so maybe sometimes thousands of games you just have in your library. That's a thing. And we're not going to be doing my entire game collection today because that would take way too long. That's too much. So we're only going to be focusing today on the PlayStation 3. And even though we're only focusing on one console, there's still a pretty good amount of games that I have on my PS3 that are not just PS3 games, but also games of PS2 and PS1, because that's a thing you can buy on the PS3 store, which is something else we're going to get into. We're also going to be talking about like game archiving in general. Not just game archiving that I want to do, but just like game archiving in general, as I literally just said. We're gonna be talking about like how accessible games are and if you can like find them easily or if it's not really that easy to find them. If there's an official, legal, viable method of getting these games, or if emulation is our only option. Those kinds of things are what we're going to be talking about today. I also only have one monitor today instead of two like I normally have. That's because I need my PS3. And we do have that on right now. But, yeah. Like the ethics of archiving games, vaporware, lost media, etc. Well, kind of... I mean... Yeah, we'll just touch on that subject for a bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and also I don't have music today, I just have some background noises. Hope you don't mind. Ouch. It's unbearable! Yeah. And I'll touch on the Grinch again later. There is something I found out that I would like to do. Like I'm done with the Grinch for now. I'll say that much. But I'm not gonna cross out the possibility of coming back to it down the line. Anyways, also something I didn't do today was restart my computer before streaming, something that I normally do. Now I haven't had my computer on for too long today, just like an hour and a half maybe, so it shouldn't be too bad, but well, let's just hope it doesn't get too bad. Okay, let's just show you guys the website. So where is that browser? Okay, so here's the website. I created this account like half an hour ago, so it's brand new. I do have another account that I use regularly, but we're gonna forget about that account. You don't need to know about that one. We're gonna start this one. And well, I guess we'll just go over the website real quick. So, and I do have my mouse because you know we're gonna be looking at things. So, Control Bastion's Backloggery. If you're ever confused about a feature, look for a helpful question mark next to it. Just to mouse over that, and a hint box will pop up. You know, it's a pretty straightforward website. It's actually really quick. Like, there's no loading times here, like, because I think there's also no ads in this website, but that might just be because I have ad block on. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, so if I had any games, this is where my games would be. Wait, but I don't have any games. You search the ground all about, but they found nothing. Yeah, there's nothing here yet. But let me see. So we have the unfinished, beaten, completed, null, and mastered. And you don't have to do any. This is just the options you have. And then we have you can also include games that you haven't even started. It also shows you ownership level, like you own the game, or it's in your household. It's not directly owned by you, but like somebody that lives in your home. It's a subscription-based game you're borrowed or renting. You used to own it, or is some other nebulous thing that's not quite easy to understand, which we could use for emulating. But let me see here. Okay, who is the parent company? I don't know. I think it might just be there's a. I don't even. Hold on. A very small staff who maintains this site in their free time. It's not really a parent company. It's just a couple of guys in a basement probably that sustain this website. It's nothing big. You can literally just make an account in like a couple of seconds. Okay. Seems to be an independent venture. Yeah, it's just a little website. They have they're in North Carolina, if that helps. Anyways. Okay, so we're gonna be adding games to this. And I do have, I have a game, I have a collection, a physical collection, and I have digital collection. You guys want to start with the physical games or with the digital games? I don't care. We'll hopefully get through all of the PS3 games today, but I don't guarantee that we'll be able to do anything else. The parent company is their entire state of North Carolina. Imagine if an entire state just owned an entire like gaming website. I mean, considering how many game devs are in California, I wouldn't be surprised. Anyways, physical should go quicker. Yeah, that probably makes sense. Anyways, the way I'm gonna show you guys my physical collection without actually like whipping out a live feed camera, which I don't want to do. Does completing mean 100%ing a game or just finishing the story? Completing means 100%. Like, you did everything that there is to do in the game. Or at least... I mean, you don't have to do it. It's just, it means you did what you felt was complete. Again, I'll show you guys how this website works here. But anyways, physical collection. For that, I have a little just set of pictures that I took with my phone, just some photographs. So let's go ahead and get to those. I wonder what the combined surface area of your entire box collection is. Like, if you tape them all together, could you make a little wall behind you? Probably, actually. That's a good amount. There used to be a lot more, and I'll get to that later. But yeah. Okay, where's there it is. Boom. So I literally just, again, took a bunch of pictures. And we're going to be going through that. Hey, Masushi-cat. Hi, hello, how are you doing? Thank you for the follow and welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy your stay. Anyways, he could make his own Grinch cave. Well, we do have the Grinch in here. I don't want to be the Grinch VTuber, but I don't think I can escape this fate at this point. Anyways, hello. Hey, again, hope you enjoy your stay. Again, we're going to be cataloging today, putting games into Backloggery, and hopefully I can make this fun and entertaining, even though we're literally just typing shit. Okay, so in this shot right here, we have Condemned 2, Bloodshot, Dante's Inferno, and Folklore. I'm doing this in alphabetical order, so and in sets of 3. So let's go ahead and add those real quick. So let's see. Condemned 2, Bloodshot. Now, Condemned is a little series. It only has 2 games. And Condemned 1 is available on, pretty sure, Xbox 360. I think it was a 360 launch title. And it's also available on PC. It might also be on PS3, I'm not sure. Condemned 2 is available on PS3, pretty sure 360, but not PC. And I don't know why. I would like it to be available on PC, but whatever. Oh, that must be the Dante May Cry game I've heard so much about. Not quite, but I'll explain that. So let's go ahead and start with Condemned. So we're going to go ahead and add a game. And it gives you this little window. So you got a game name, system, progress bar, and you can actually make this a little bit, detailed mode. So we can make it a little bit nicer to look at. So game name. We got no, Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay. Condemned 2, Bloodshot. Okay. You have to type it. It doesn't have a list of, like, if you make a typo writing your game down, you're sticking with that typo. It's gonna be there until you fix it. Okay, it's wild to start thinking about 360 and PS3 games sold. Yeah, I mean, the 360 came out in 2005. Like, the PS3 came out in 2006 and the 360 in 2005. Like, we're talking 15 years ago. There's probably some audience members that are not that much older than that, when you think about it. Anyways, so Condemned 2 Bloodshot, it is not part of a compilation, or if it's part of DLC, but it gives you the little explanation here. So, for example, Mega Man 2, we could add, if this was part of like a Condemned collection, we could have Condemned 2 Bloodshot here, and then we could have like the Condemned collection. But this is not part of a compilation. And if it's DLC, you can add it like that. So game name is Lost. So for example, in the Resident Evil 5's case, it has 2 DLC chapters. So you would add it like Lost in Nightmares, and then the compilation is Resident Evil 5, and then Desperate Escape, and that's probably Resident Evil 5. You know, that kind of things. Anyways. I wish I had an old Snake emote. Sorry I'm late, but I'll stay as long as I can. Hey, Liosutan, how you doing? Hope you enjoy your stay. We're basically just starting here, so you really haven't missed much. I'm lol. Okay, let's see. What system? So this does have a pretty extensive list of systems here that you guys can't see because it's not showing up on the browser window. But basically, we got everything from the 32X to the Amiga, Android, Atari. Basically, every like gaming console that has ever existed is being listed right here. And we're gonna go down and put it as PS3. And if it's like an original system, so like if this game was originally released on another system, you may mark that system here. So Gunstar Heroes, they originally came, you know, on the virtual console. Say if you downloaded it from your Wii or something, but you know, it originally came out on the Genesis, so you could write that down. And we might do that just for the sake of being thorough. I think I'll go ahead and make an account for this too, since I made an entire spreadsheet of games I've played for the top 50 games stream I did. Yeah, it's a pretty useful website to just keep track of your games. I've used it for years, again in another account, and it's pretty handy. Anyways, you can also select the region, so it's North America, Japan, PAL, China, Korea, and Brazil. I'm surprised that Brazil has its own section. I didn't know there were like Brazil exclusive releases, but hey, there you go. North America, Japan, and PAL. That's pretty much what you're mainly going to be using, unless for some reason you have like a lot of Chinese and Korean and Brazilian games. Whatever. Here's where you can select your level of ownership. So as we saw from the picture, Where's my picture? There's my picture. I do physically own the game, so you know, we can just mark that down as owned. But again, you have all of these other options here. And the current status: you have unfinished and unplayed, beaten, completed, null, and mastered. Again, this is just this website doesn't keep track of this from like a database or something. It doesn't keep track of this like from some weird this doesn't have like a direct connection with like Steam or PlayStation or something. No, this is just whatever you want. If you beat the game, you can just write it down as beaten. If you're done with the game and you don't want to play it anymore, you can put completed, you can put null, you can put whatever you want here. There's no rules. This is a lawless wasteland, and I love it. But I have not started Condemned 2. Like, I put the disc in to make sure it worked, and that's all I did. So we're gonna mark that down as unplayed. And obviously you have achievements or trophies. You know, you want to put your trophy information here, you can do that. Online info, say if you have like, specific online information for usernames, friend codes, whatever. So it's like, say you're playing World of Warcraft and you want to let people know of like your account name or your character name or whatever, you can do that here. If it is an online game, if it's not, whatever. And then a progress note. Progress note is usually where I write. I actually don't write progress on my progress note. I write like whatever. But I guess I'll go ahead and we'll write something down about Condemned 2. And I have nothing clever to say about this game right now. Yeah, should I just write something clever here? Like, again, if I had something clever to say, I would write it down, but I don't have anything clever to say. But yes, I guess we'll just put as... Let me see this real quick. Hold on. Brazil probably has like the highest gameplay hours to money spent ratio of any country. Interesting. That'll be a good spot to write ouch for the Grinch. Yeah, if you know something about the game, like a reference or something, yeah, you can put that right here. I know they changed the main character. But no, they didn't change the main character, they changed the main character's design. And that was weird. And I know this wasn't as well received. So we'll just put this as, we'll just put it as unplayed. And when I have something clever to say, I can go ahead and start, updating this stuff. You can also put a little review if you want. You got 500 characters, so it's not an extensive review. But hey, you played the game, say you really liked it. So you hated it. Say you thought it was alright. Or you don't really want to rate it. You can do whatever you want. And you put your comments here. What I'm going to do is as we do Let's Play series and we complete games and we have a series, I want to put here in the comments a direct link to the original YouTube archive. Because again, I will try my best to archive everything that I stream. That this stream is going to get archived on YouTube. Any future Let's Plays I do are going to get archived on YouTube. And the only things that I probably won't archive is when I mess with like DMCA heavy music. And I don't intend on messing with DMCA heavy music unless we play Brutal Legend. And I mean, that's a whole other can of worms. I don't want to open that right now. Okay. Alright, it's an unfortunate fate for a game to be played for hours, yet leave no impressions at all. Yeah, no want to play category. I don't think there is a want to, but it's a wishlist category. I'm so bad about it. I let the Ni no Kuni 1 off archive disappear. Oh man, yeah. But what I'm doing is I'm actually recording this. I'm not just streaming it. I'm recording it, so the video will be available to me immediately once. I've been streaming for 22 minutes already, 23 minutes. Man, I can really talk your guys' ears off. Oh my god. Okay, but yeah, so I want to archive as much as I possibly can. And you can also put, if this is a game you're currently playing, which I will make sure to like update that when I'm doing a let's play series. Like, okay, this is the game we're currently. So when people go into my backloggery, they'll be okay. This is what I'm currently playing, and I'll try to give you like a link so that you know there's a thing. You can look at it. It's that right there. And wish list. If you just want like wishes will not be added to your stats in any way. They are simply listed under your wish list section. When you remove the wish list status of a game, it will be added to your collection as if you input it for the first time. So. And actually, we can go ahead and try this out real quick. So let's just go ahead and add this one. Oh, so you can add a game or stealth add it. So, yeah. So basically, in this website, there is a memory card. Let me show you guys. So let's add a game. Condemned 2 has been added successfully. So now we go to our backloggery, and we see we have a list. These are the amount of games These are our unfinished games, beaten, completed. Wish list, top rated, master runs. We only have one game in here, so it's only one PlayStation 3 game, and we have a memory card. The memory card is how we keep track. How the website basically keeps track of everything you've done. Any games you've added, any games you've taken out, beaten, completed, blah 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 blah. But when you saw over here that we had the stealth add option, if you do that, it will not update your memory card. It'll just be there. And say if you like got rid of a game and you don't want people to know that you got rid of that game, or say you put a game as completed, then realize you hadn't actually completed it and it was only beaten, and you don't want people to know that, you update it and you still add that, and there won't be a whole like memory card section. It'll tell you, hey, they did this thing, and you can actually click on the memory card and it'll tell you like this. And this is only showing one thing right here, and this is kind of broken, but anyways, it's only showing one thing right here because we've only done one thing, but it will keep adding, and it will add things you've done over the course of years. Yes, so it's quite extensive. Anyways, let's see. Where's still that? Yeah, the still that. So I just explained that. To correct myself, you did remember to record Ni no Kuni. I just vanished from Twitch. Well, I mean, as long as you have a YouTube channel, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, and then once you start adding stuff, you start getting some badges. So you have the gold ring. Today is your backlog anniversary. So because we created the account today, we get the gold ring. Again, these don't actually do anything. They're just here. It's just for funsies. This website is entirely for funsies. There's nothing serious here, and that's why I like using it, because it's just fun. Anyways, Legendary Weapon 5 or fewer unfinished games. That's gonna change very quickly as we keep adding more games to it. Cursed, 10 plus new games in a row. Not playing anything. I don't know why I got Cursed, because I've only added one game. But, whatever. Anyways, so there's Condemned 2, and you can see your PlayStation 3 on Blade, blah blah blah. And let's go ahead and add Condemned 1. Now it wasn't there on the collection, but we can go ahead and use this as the wish list. So I know that this game is available on Steam, so I'm going to look down over here and select well, actually I can probably just select PC in case it's in some other thing like GOG or any other website. I mean, I only use Steam, GOG, and the Epic Game Store, and I'm a little hesitant to use the Epic Game Store, but they were offering literally one free game for the second half of December, and I couldn't pass that up, and I also got look, it's just it's a whole thing. Anyways, I'm gonna just leave it at that. And I actually have started Condemned Criminal Origins, because I did have it on Xbox 360 previously, and in fact, no, I don't have it there anymore. But because I've traded in games, but I want to get it on PC because on PC it just runs better. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier for me to stream games and record games directly from my PC than it is from console. I can do it from console. I've got the thing in here, but it's just easier to do it from the computer directly. No rating, nothing over here. Just started, let's say, I don't remember what chapter I left on. Right. Okay, and then we're gonna add that to the wish list. And let's go ahead and add that, and we'll see how that reflects on our backlog. So, see, our amount of games hasn't changed. The only thing that changes is that we have a wish list now. Because you see, it tells you, okay, so you want this game. You don't have this game, but you want this game, and you have played it before. So it's basically like adding like a game normally. It just adds this to your wish list instead of a specific console. Anyways, okay. What you get as a free game? There were a lot of games that they were giving out for free. The main games that I was interested in getting were Oddworld New and Tasty, Alien Isolation, and Metro something 2033. One of the Metro games. I don't trust the Epic Games Store. Yeah, no, I don't really trust it much either. But whatever. It's free. No, not Exodus. I know Exodus is the new one. I don't think they're giving out that for free. They were giving out one of the older Metro games. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if the Epic Games Store would just throw away freaking Metro Exodus for free. But yeah. They don't do demo disc anymore, do they? Those were the good times for PS1 days. Yeah, they don't really do demo disc. Now, they still do demos. You can download demos, and I've downloaded a couple demos from PS4 and even Steam. But no, they don't do demo discs anymore, unfortunately. But whatever. Okay, anyways, back to the picture album. So we also got Dante's Inferno Divine Edition. You can specify that. You don't have to, but you can specify that. You know, publisher is desperate if they throw out discounts and freebies for a game less than a month after it launches. Yeah, it wouldn't be that bad. Especially Metro was doing fine, so I don't think they would really need to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and add a game. Dante's Inferno. I guess we can go ahead and add Divine Edition. I don't actually know what the difference is between the Divine Edition and the original. I think the Divine Edition is just the PS3 version, whereas the regular edition is just the Xbox 360 version. Again, I don't know the difference. There probably is something. I don't know what. We could look that up, but we'll be fine. Anyway, that's on PS3. I don't believe Dante's Inferno is available on anything else. But if it is, I will probably look again. If I know it's available on PS3 and 360. Let's find that out real quick. Let me just shut the browser down real quick and make sure I don't have any exposing evidence. Let's see. Dante's Inferno. Oh, right. I have to specify that I'm talking about the game Dante's Inferno. Okay, we can go ahead and pull that up again. So, Dante's Inferno video game. Let's read up on the wiki, see what it says. Okay. Also, let me see. Mr. Disc. Yeah, the discs were fun, but actually, I used to be a collector. I used to have, like, so many games. Physical games, like on PS2 and Xbox, and I had a game, but I had a Wii, and I had a bunch of stuff, and I had a bunch of games for them, and I only bought the games. I never played them. And then one day I decided to actually start playing them, and realized I didn't like most of them. Oh man, that's a whole story that I'll have to tell you guys later. But anyways, Dante's Inferno. So this game is available on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PSP. That's right. We were actually just playing The Grinch, which was made by Behavior Interactive. I'm pretty sure Behavior Interactive are the ones that made the PSP version of that game. Pretty sure, yeah. I learned, yeah. Well, Artificial Mind and Movement. Yeah, that's an unusual connection. No, the game wasn't made by Behavior, but the PSP version was ported by Behavior. Anyways, but no, it is not on PC, so PS3 version is probably the best version I'm gonna get of this game. Okay. It was so innovative how small the GameCube discs were. Yeah, I don't remember why they're small. They just, but there was a reason for them. Unrelated tangent. One time I got Azumanga Daioh episodes from GameCube-sized discs. They had no language options. Man, that sucks. Anyways, Dante's Inferno Divine Edition, original system. That's fine. North America is owned. I've played the demo, but that doesn't really count as the game itself. So we're just gonna count that as unplayed. No achievements, no online information. We're just gonna play that unplayed. No review, no nothing. I do physically own it, so we're just gonna go ahead and add that. Okay. The action replay disc will easily broke in the GameCube. Yeah, I wouldn't know about that because I only had the Wii, and I only had like a couple of GameCube games, but they were fun. Anyway, so now, as you can see, our collection is growing up, and we haven't not added any beaten or games yet, so this is just this bar is going up, and it's green because everything is also unplayed. Once we add something that's unfinished, unbeaten, but have played, there will be a red thing over here, as you see with the wish list where it's actually red and not green. By the way, Dante's Inferno is like basically a God of War ripoff. No, it's not a bad game, it's just like very, very obviously trying to copy God of War and its success, and it didn't. Because it did not sell that well. There's only one game in the Dante's Inferno franchise, if we can call it that. Okay. How many times did you throw your Wii remote? I have never thrown my Wii remote. Not once. I've never thrown any controllers. Ever. I mean, I've dropped them a couple times by accident because my hand slipped, but I've never thrown a controller. That's not a thing I do. And I know, like, you know, motion games with the Wii, you know, that you would be tempted to do that, but I always made sure to put that little strap, the little thing that you can put on your wrist to make sure that I wouldn't just fling my Wii remote out the window, hit the neighbor, and get in trouble. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy. Okay. Anyway, so we've been streaming for 36 minutes and I've added a cumulative total of 3 games into this list. Oh my lord. Okay, what was the other one? Folklore, I think? Yes, Folklore. So, Folklore is actually a PlayStation 3 exclusive. That's cool. But, you know, I would like the game to be available on something else, but it is, as far as I am aware, Folklore is only available on PlayStation 3. And we have to actually start talking about it. So let me go ahead and add Folklore real quick. So, Folklore. That's a pretty cool game, by the way. Also, games that we're showing, I want to make sure that I play every single game in my collection on stream at least once. Not beat every single game, because, you know, once we get to like Steam games and stuff, that's going to be really complicated. But I gotta make sure to at least like give everything I have a shot. Make sure, see how it is, see how it works. You know, it will just do that to, you know, throughout the years. It's not going to be something that we do like immediately, but yeah, we're just gonna play like every once in a while. We'll do maybe like a one-off stream where we just play a bunch of games for a little bit. But my intention is to beat games, not just play them for a beat. I want to actually finish games as much as possible. I'm juggling my reader mode. That's dangerous but impressive. Okay, guess we could use the wheel on the side to help in that effort, like how Vinny just started his stream spin series. Actually, that is a feature that we can do. Well, not that exact feature, but that is something we can do from this website. So let me go ahead and finish this real quick. So I have started it. I just didn't finish it. Play. Yeah, maybe like an hour is that's what I've played of Folklore. It's fun, but you know, I haven't really started yet. Okay, so Volker was as successful, so now we have 3 games. And again, because we actually did have started that one, you see the red line here that tells you 66.7% of our... Yeah, three total unfinished, of which 66.7% are unplayed. That's what I was trying to say. Okay. To this day, no one has ever beaten Matt in Wii Sports yet. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's a joke right there. Anyways, so yeah, this website has a feature where it is called the fortune cookie. So choose your criteria and open your cookie and find out which game you should play next. So yeah, it's basically like a roulette wheel. So I mean, we've only got a small selection of games here, but it lets you choose from whatever you have. You know, as we keep adding consoles, this will keep going up. And you can add whatever status you want. You can add if it's something you're not playing right now, if it's something on your wish list, or if it's something you're currently playing, if you had a bunch of games that you're currently playing, your level of ownership, and then once you get whatever you want here, you open that cookie, and the cookie says that we should play Folklore. We're not going to play Folklore right away, but we will play it eventually. But yeah, so that's how we could actually use this. But I do have a system that I want to implement later. Not right now. You know, once I'm ready to like debut and really get serious with content creation, I'll go ahead and explain that. But for now, you know, you can do that if you don't know what to play. If you want to let fortune decide for you, you can go ahead and use the fortune cookie thing in here. Oh, they do have a Patreon if you want to support them. I should probably support them considering how much I like this website. Okay. Now that's a nice feature, but can it spin? It cannot spin, unfortunately. Okay. So, that's the 3 games we have over there. Let me check if Folklore is available on something else. Folklore game. Let's see. Nope, only on PlayStation 3. I don't know if it is available on PlayStation Now. We could look for that. Let me drink some water first before I keep yapping. Okay, so something I want to keep in mind again, as we mentioned, as we were talking about with Condemned, like Condemned Criminal Origins, the first one is very readily available. It's on Steam. You can get it right there. In fact, let's go look for it right now. Condemned Criminal Origins. Look it up, and yeah, right there. It's on Steam right now. 75%. Well, it said 75% off. It's not actually, but it's only $15. That's pretty reasonable, all things considered. So yeah, you can just get this game like very easily, and that's good. We want games to be accessible. We want games to be available for purchase at a reasonable price on modern hardware. And make sure that they're optimized so that they run on modern hardware. That is good game archiving. Make sure that your games are available. Condemned 2 is not. It's not available as easily. You know, if a game is available like on Steam, or on a modern console like PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PS5, or Xbox Series X, or I guess I can count the Stadia. I guess whatever. If it's available again on a modern console or PC, and it's easily accessible, great. But Condemned 2, you can see here, it's not. You have to go to GameStop or Amazon or like the Xbox 360 marketplace specifically, and I mean, let me see that real quick. Let's see what this brings up. So, Xbox Live, hold on. You can download a demo, a trailer, Fight Club theme, blah blah. But it only lists let me see. Does it list this as something that you can play on Xbox One or Xbox Series X as well? Because if it is, Microsoft is actually decent about this. Like, they do make an effort to put their games, their older games, and make sure that they make sure that backwards compatibility is good on their newer hardware, which is good, great. That's a good way to preserve games. So good on Microsoft for doing that, but I don't see that this game specifically has a. I can't really explore the website much, anyways. So for now, I'm going to assume it's a no. This game is not available easily for download for current purchase on a modern console, so that's not good. There's no bueno. You don't want that. You want your games to be accessible. And let's see, what other games we have? Okay, Dante's Inferno, that's only on PS3, Xbox 360, and PSP. And those consoles are not really being, they're not being manufactured anymore. And in the case of the PS3, I'm pretty sure the PSP store, like the online store, is just dead. And the PS3s, I'll show you guys later, but it is not in good state. It has not been updated or optimized at all in a very long time, and that's not good. If a game is only available on like the PlayStation 3 store, online store, I don't really want to count it as being available. Like, I guess I can. Guess I kind of have to, but I don't want to. Okay, chat with chat real quick. Never let 4chan decide anything for you. Are there any titles in your digital library that have been completely delisted? I don't think so, but I guess we'll find out, because I haven't actually researched all of them. I think you have to check the backwards compatibility list. Yeah, I'm surprised at how interesting this is getting. But yes, and then Folklore. I wanted to check if that is available on PlayStation Now. So for those of you who don't know, PlayStation Now is basically their PlayStation service, like game streaming service. And the cool thing about it is that they do have PS2 and PS3 games, not just PS4 games. And I would like, they just added this today, by the way. I would like to see if they have Folklore. So let's go to the F and Flow. Well, I have Flow and Flower, which are both PS3 games as well, but I don't see Folklore. They don't have Folklore. So the only way in which you can play Folklore on PlayStation 3 is if you get a PlayStation 3, and I don't even think the game is available for purchase on the PlayStation, well, I mean, hold on. Let me see what happens. And PlayStation doesn't even list their own PS3 games anymore, because that was an update that they did to the website, like, I want to say like a few months ago, like 2 or 3 months ago. They completely delisted PS3 and PS Vita games from the website and the online app, and you can only access that list of games from the consoles directly, which is stupid. Why would you do that? Like, was it really taking up that much space? And all that tells me, tells us the players, is that Sony just doesn't have an interest in conserving the PlayStation 3 anymore, or preserving it, making sure that it sticks around. And that's sad, because I like the PS3. It's got a lot of cool games on it. But if Sony doesn't care, then, our only option is to go to the used market, for which they will not get any money, or use emulation, for which they will also not get any money. But if they're not giving us the option to officially support them and give them that money officially, then, I mean, you can't really get mad when people start emulating. That's what I say. That's why I like emulation, because it's not really harming anyone. If you're not giving people the option to officially buy these games already, or you're not giving a good enough service, then don't be surprised when people start emulating and pirating your games. That's what I say. Anyways, Folklore. Let's see, go back to the backlog. Let me get some water. I am surprised at how good I might not get to too much of this collection today, but I do have quite a bit of games. But I'm probably going to make this a regular thing at this rate, because this is just fun to talk about. Okay, anyways, picture album. Let's bring that back up and go to the next picture. So here we have the God of War games. Pretty much all of them. God of War collection, which is not the entire collection. There is a different collection that has all of the God of War games on PS3. But this was actually, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, this was actually the very first PS2 HD remaster that appeared on PlayStation 3 and just in general. Maybe there was maybe Alien Hominid might have been out before that. But as far as like big games are concerned, this was where it all started. From the success of this little collection right here is where we got stuff like the Crash Insane Trilogy and Spyro Reignited Trilogy and all that good stuff that we have nowadays. Anyways, also God of War 3 and God of War Ascension. Okay, so let's close that. Okay, we'll catch up with chat real quick. There's an argument to be made about games not being worth the cost of putting them up on a storefront, but in this modern digital age, the cost of keeping games in digital circulation is so incredibly low. If it's still not worth the effort, then the game should just be legally free to modify and distribute. But that's just view. That's fine. Yeah, like I agree with that. And you know, like, again, I used to be a collector, and I used to love having the game physically in my hands. And I mean, I still like that feeling, but I understand the digital distribution is the future. It took me a while to accept it, but I accept it now. Digital distribution is the future, and we should make sure that digital distribution is distributing digitally as much as possible. And we're not keeping games just living in the dust, because that's where emulation comes in. If you're not going to have official sources for digital distribution, then the fans are going to do it for you, and they're not going to give you that money. So it's your move, Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, and everybody else has games that are not currently available anymore. Do it. We'll buy the games as long as you don't overprice them. We'll buy. I'll buy iNinja. I'll buy Whiplash, Primal. I mean, Primal is actually is available, but you know, those games. We'll buy them. Just make them available. If not, we'll just emulate them. It's that simple. Okay, you have the oldest but goodest. Yeah, we like retro in this juncture. Digital should be cheaper because it's cheaper. Digital should be cheaper because it's cheaper for publishers to distribute by a lot. Yeah, that's something else that like has been brought up before. Like digital games should not cost as much as physical games because it's literally cheaper to make them digital, and you're technically getting less. Therefore, you know. Anyways, so God of War. Let's go ahead and add those real quick now. We can go ahead and use the original system feature of this one. So we'll just go ahead and put God of War just like that. We're not gonna, because when we're talking about the PS4 God of War, we'll go ahead and specify that we're talking about like God of War PS4 on PlayStation 4. But we're talking about God of War on PS3, which is the original God of War, and the original system that it came out on was PlayStation 2. And it is part of a compilation, so we can go ahead and add that. God of War. I think it's just called the God of War Collection. Let me see. Yeah, here's a God of War Collection. So we'll go ahead and call it that. And that is a game that I have completed. Not just beaten, completed. I beat that game on God mode. I hated it. I hated playing God mode. I did not have fun playing God mode, and I will never do it again. But I did it. I hated it, but I did it. I've realized that I enjoy a challenge, but I am not a glutton for punishment. I am... No. Like, I'm fine with playing a game on hard difficulty. I'm not playing them on like the absolute highest possible difficulty available, because I'm not that mean to myself. Obviously, it depends on the game, but you know. Anyways, is God mode in God of War just normal mode? No, God mode is actually like the hardest difficulty. Alright, I have to head to bed tomorrow, but that's okay. I appreciate you joining us for as long as you did. Hope you have a good night's sleep. Hope you have a good day tomorrow. Hope you have, and until we see you again, have a good one and enjoy your night. Anyways, God of War. It is a good game. Don't get me wrong. I hated God mode because of the frustration and difficulty, but the game itself is phenomenal. Well, I don't know, phenomenal, but like pretty good. Let's see. More work tomorrow, but I feel you. I gotta work tomorrow too. Alright. Anyways. So we're gonna add that as completed. And progress node. I guess we can go ahead. Let's go ahead and switch to the console here. And let me put the browser down. So I do have the PS3 right here. And it's actually making noise. It is. Okay. Cool. Let's see. So I do have my trophy collection here. We'll go ahead and open that. We'll just check it real quick, so I know how many achievements I have collected. It's okay, you can stream at work. I cannot stream at work. No. No. Unless you're talking to Lyle. I mean, he might be, I don't know. If you work at home, maybe you can. I don't advise it, but you can. Okay, let's see. Also, this is just like a much general game collection here, but we're not going to be focusing too many on this right now. We're just going to be looking for God of War. Where are you? There you are. Not that God of War. This God of War. Okay. So we do have every trophy on that one. And you can check out the information. So that's 36 out of 36. Cool. So we're going to go ahead and add that over here. Let me put the browser back on. Nice. 36 out of 36. And we'll see how that affects the little thing over here. Progress node. God mode finished. God mode completed. I did everything. Once I have clever things to say, I'll come back and update this with something that's much more interesting than just I did the thing. I beat the game. I got stuck in a bit. No, we'll come back and make this more interesting. And I will give the game like a 5. Yeah, it's a pretty good game. It is a fun game. I definitely enjoyed it. I've played it. It is the God of War game that I have played the most. I've played that game like at least 6 times, if not more. We're not currently playing it. We have all this information is fine, and we can go ahead and add that game. Now we'll see how that reflects in the backlog, and then we catch up with each other real quick. If I were to record an entire shift in the frozen department, it might actually be kind of interesting. What random items am I going to find in the freezers that should never, ever be frozen? Your boss should give you a promotion on the spot if you go undetected with. Oh man, that sounds like a cool boss, first of all, and second, that would be funny. I would watch that. Anyways, okay, so let's see how this has affected our thing. So now we have one thing we're complete. Now it's not just 100% unfinished. We have 25% of games that have been completed, and you see that right here. So let's go and see how that looks over here. So we did a lot of stuff with that God of War game. So there's a God of War collection, and you scroll it down and it shows you, okay, so in the God of War collection there is God of War, which is a PS3 game, but it was originally released on PS2. They think that this game is a 4 out of 5 stars, and they have completed 36 out of 36 achievements. Again, you do this entirely manually. If you put 129 achievements out of 2, or 2 out of 129, it will believe you. It's not gonna like check a database and check if you're actually correct. It's just gonna believe that there are 129 achievements. And you will have 2 of them. You have to do everything manually, and this is a very personal website. Like, you don't, you can show it to people, and that's cool, and they'll be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But it is a website to keep your own track of your own progress in your own games, your own game collection. And also, I forgot this little guy right here is Backlog. That's the mascot of the website. It's just like an evil Goomba. Goombas are evil, but like this is an even more evil Goomba. I actually really like this guy. I would like some merchandise of him. Anyways, and then you click on it and see. Well, you can edit it, but you can't really do much about it. Okay. So let's see. Let's go ahead and add another game, and in the God of War collection, we also have God of War 2. God of War 2 is also part of the God of War collection. It also was originally released on PlayStation 2. Where is it? PlayStation 2. And yes, I do physically own it. I also have... Okay, so that one... This is where you can put a little bit of your own input. So I did not finish God of War 2 on the hardest difficulty, on Titan mode, I think it is. Yeah, Titan mode. I did not finish in Titan mode. I finished it in hard mode. I did get all the trophies with it, and in fact, let me double confirm that. Hold on. Okay. God of War 2. Yeah. Yep, I got all the trophies in there. 100%. 35 out of 35. There's one less trophy on this one. So let's go ahead and add that over here. 35 out of 35. And I could write it as beaten because I haven't actually done everything. There is still one more difficulty that I could do. And there is one. And you do unlock a couple of things for that. But again, you can put your own input. Am I really going to go back to God of War 2 and beat that game on the hardest difficulty when I've heard that it's even worse than the first game when it comes to just being frustrating? And do I really care enough to do that? Let me move this window. No, don't. It's snapping too much. Okay, whatever. It's not something I really want to do. So I could just say that this game is completed, not because it's actually completed, but because I'm done with it. I'm like, I'll do a Let's Play series of it eventually, but I'm probably not gonna put myself through the effort of making it more, going in there and beating the hardest difficulty and doing all the things. That just doesn't sound fun to me. So I'm just gonna write as completed because I'm done with it. Hey, Gono, how you doing? Hope you enjoy your stay. We are cataloging. It's passing by as I was about to go to sleep, but wondered what is cataloging. Yeah, it's like an actual catalog managing. Yeah, we are literally just... No, there isn't a game called cataloging. We are literally just doing a catalog sim, and it's actually been surprisingly fun. This is like an advanced just chatting stream, if we really take it to a certain light. Okay, there we go. That looks a little bit better. But yeah, we've basically just been adding games that I have in my collection into this little website called Backloggery. It has been quite a bit of fun. I look forward to doing this probably multiple times in the future. If Double Fine could make a game just called Stacking Anything is possible. Librarian Simulator. You know what? Avery Alexandria would probably be like, if they have a big game collection, this would probably be right up their alley. I gotta show them this. Okay. How'd your day go? My day was pretty good. I worked. Today was like the only day this week that I didn't have a night shift, and that's why we're streaming. Well, I mean, I work tomorrow and then I'm off the next 2 days afterwards. So we'll probably stream on a Thursday and or Friday as well. Can't guarantee which specific day or what we're gonna do. We might just be doing this some more. But yeah, it's I need more water. Wow, I can talk so. I was actually thinking about this today. Like, what's some VTuber that I really like? That I kind of like their content like a lot, and I have to admit, one of the things that I find really impressive about Hosho Marin from Hololive. Hosho Marin the Zoo. Oh yeah, her. Is how she's able to talk non-stop. She does not stop talking, and that's impressive, and that's good, and she is so freaking funny. I definitely look up to Marin as not just like a person, but an entertainer. And I mean, hey, I'm kind of doing it over here. I mean, I'm not as efficiently. I can't speak as clearly or as quickly, but I can do it. Belle Delphine. I'm not familiar with him, actually. I like to imagine she has one of those baseball hats with 2 cans on it. Wait. I can see Marin wearing that, but no, she does not have that. But she could be an excellent shoutcast VTuber. Anyways, progress note. This game's God mode is hard mode. The first God of War's God mode is very hard mode. God of War 2's God mode is hard, and very hard is Titan mode. I think. Pretty sure. Could be wrong though. Anyways. Okay. I would say this game is about as good as the first one. I kind of like the first one better. But I understand that there were improvements to the second game. So yeah, we'll just do that. And there's nothing else to be added here, so we're gonna go ahead and have the game. Okay. It's not a bad idea, honestly. Use one of those hiking backpacks with a wallet pack and a long straw. Actually, you meant like that. Oh, okay, yeah, I could definitely have one of those. I should get one of those. I've never seen one in real life, though. Like, I've seen them in movies and cartoons, but I'm sure they probably exist somewhere. I gotta go down to, like, the baseball stadium that we have around here. Anyways, let's have an IV drip fit to stream non-stop, optimize streaming uptime. What are my pronouns? Anything is fine, really. Like the tools are God of War 2 more than one. Oh, God of War. I read GW2 and read Garden Warfare instead of God of War. I guess I'm more used to GOW for God of War and then GW for Garden Warfare. Anyways, pronouns. Anything is fine. Like, they is a pretty standard pronoun. Like, obviously, my model is female. You can see the boing boings in action. But you can hear my voice as male. And I honestly don't mind. Now, I need to make this very perfectly clear. I don't mind you calling me he, she, or they. I'm cool with any of those. That doesn't mean somebody else is cool with being called he, she, or they. Always make sure that, you know, whoever stream you're going to, whoever you're referring to, make sure you're using the right pronouns and don't mispronoun them. That's very rude. That's very mean. You can call me whatever you want, but that's me. That's not in general. That's just I'm giving you that permission. Yeah. Okay. There's so many games for those initials. I can't think of any more at the top of my head, but I definitely believe you. Yeah, that's why I asked before Zoom. Yeah. So you don't have a yeah, just whatever you like. They is probably the most like straightforward pronoun because it's just easy. It's just it's the most what's the word, like, all-encompassing pronoun that doesn't exist in every language. So, you know, the they pronoun is a very powerful tool in English. I don't think that they pronoun exists in every language. It doesn't exist in every language. I don't know if it only exists in English or in other language. Maybe in German it also exists. I don't know. I don't speak German. I speak English, Spanish, and a little bit of Japanese. And I can tell you, out of those three, I'm pretty sure only English has they. Anyways, Guild Wars, God of War, they is my go-to since it's neutral and already. Yeah, that Gono said it much easier. It's neutral, and that's why it's good. So sometimes people get offended by they. I mean, yeah, whatever. I guess to each their own. Hopefully, Spanish can get standardized gender neutral. It's difficult with Spanish, and they try to do it. I remember when like some Argentinian politician tried to use ella instead of ella or ellos, and that was a whole thing. I mean, like, I definitely agree that Spanish should have inclusive language. That's great. That's awesome. But it's definitely difficult to build it with Spanish because of the way everything in Spanish is gendered. Actions, like every noun in Spanish, for those of you who don't know, is either el or la. And this extends even to concept. Even concepts are gendered, like the secret, el secreto, but like imagination, la imaginación. It's masculine and feminine for even things like that. So I understand why a gender neutral pronoun in Spanish is very difficult to implement. But you know, maybe we can, with time, languages evolve, they change, and eventually we'll find some kind of solution that is more inclusive. Because as someone who has lived for many, does not currently, but have lived in Latin America for quite a while, I can tell you that there is definitely a lot of progress that can be made down there. Anyways, what are we talking about? Let me catch up with chat real quick. Yeah, I'm not sure Spanish can unless they override the entire... Yeah, it's very difficult. Still not used to this new way of thinking about pronouns. I catch myself doing a double take, for example, when comment on Jim Sterling's videos, use they, them. I'll probably get it. Yeah, like, it is a relatively new thing, and you have to... as a kid, you weren't really taught this. Like, us kids from the 90s and maybe like the early 2000s, we were only taught he and she. Then they was like a basic thing, not really very well explored. Now we're having to relearn that in modern times, which is good. Again, it's always good to learn. Always good. Languages progress. People progress, the technology progress, community progress, society progresses is what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, good. It's good to get in this discussion. Anyways, every word has male of him. But yeah, I like AJ. Was better than H. And now I think about the gendered verbs and nouns are very strange. Yeah, in Spanish, that's a thing in Spanish. It makes sense in Spanish, but from the perspective of another language, it probably looks very weird. History lesson of the stream. Learn Spanish with a like. I don't know if I'm good enough to be a Spanish teacher. I mean, I have lost a lot of practice with Spanish, so I probably wouldn't be able to do it much. Today I bought a six pack of A&W root beer. And after drinking one, I remembered, I don't really like root beer that much. So now I have 5 other bottles of root beer that I'm going to be kind of hesitant to drink, but Whatever. You learn English with video games. I learned most of my English with video games too, and just like shows and stuff. I did not learn English from like actual practice and speech until I like many years later. And obviously, live practice with actual English speakers is the best way to learn English, and that applies to any language. But you know, you can get some basics from video games and media and all of that cool stuff. I should make teachers do VTubers from now on. Amazing purchase. That root beer will sit on your fridge reminding you. I mean, I'll drink it. I'll drink it very slow. I won't enjoy it as much. Okay. So God of War, right? God of War 3. God of War 3, by the way, is the only God of War game from the PS3 era and the PS2 and PS3 era that is available on PS4. Because there's a God of War 3 like HD remaster on PS4. None of the other God of War games, as far as I know, could be wrong, we could check that, as far as I know, all of the other God of War games are locked on the PS3. Which means that despite how much Sony advertises the God of War franchise and has advertised them through the years, they have not made their games very available. They're trying to like forget the old God of War games and just focus on the new ones. Well, new one with the new one coming out eventually. But like, I mean, like I get it. It's probably sold much. I'm pretty sure this new God of War game has sold much better than any other entry in the series, but still, like, you did have a whole series before this. Anyways, I got a 6-pack of Melon Dew myself, and I'm not sure if I should get more. It tastes exactly how you really think it does, but watermelon isn't my favorite flavor, really. Yeah, I'm not really like I saw the Melon Dew a few days ago, and like I just don't like watermelon. I probably would not enjoy that too much. Bark or A&W? I got A&W. Maybe I should have gotten. Well, actually, A&W was on sale. That's why I got it. Okay. Kratos is a thing of the past. The hard thing now is Dad of Boy. Kratos is how Lloyd is. Oh man, we're getting all the references today. I love this. Okay. Anyways, let's go ahead and add God of War 3 now. God of War 3. This is... I want to say, like, God of War 3 has arguably the best gameplay out of all the old God of War games. It's probably the most, the most well-polished, the most fun, that has the most clever puzzles. It's arguable, but it's probably the best one. But it's also the one I kind of enjoyed the least, just because of how awful Kratos is. Like, Kratos is particularly bad in God of War 3. Like, he's been a dick. He's been a very dislikable character from the beginning. But God of War 3 is when he was at his absolute worst, and just being Kratos in that game was just constantly like, ugh, I don't want to be this guy, like, God. Okay. How much was the AEW versus the Bark? The AEW was half price. So, price-wise, the answer was obvious. Golf of War, Goof of War, Gaffarian Fall. I don't really like the level design of 3 compared to 1. Kratos be angry. Yeah, he is a very angry dude, and he does very bad things. Yeah, like... I mean, I do like the level design on all of them. I think all of the God of War games have pretty good level design, even the spin-offs. But, now, fair enough, yes. God of War 1 specifically is just very memorable. Maybe it might be a little bit of nostalgia, because back then in 2005, that was just wow. It was out of this world to see a game like that. Now, you know, with time, games became bigger, and that level of scale became more acceptable, but back then it was just that much more impressive. Anyways, God of War 3, I have not beaten that thoroughly as compared to God of War 2. And let me go ahead and pull this up right here. I just did it on my console. I forgot to show it on stream, but yeah, God of War 3, we have 26 out of 36 trophies. I have not beaten the game on hard or higher, so we're gonna put 26 out of 36. Progress note: beat, not finished, you know, not completed. I haven't completed the game on a hard difficulty or the challenge of the gods things. I think it has some DLC as well. I think, maybe, can't entirely remember. I still like the game. Actually, hold on, we should put the browser back on. Okay. So yeah, 26 out of 36. It's beaten, but not completed. I'd still give it a 4-star because it is a fun game. It's just, again, Kratos. God damn, Kratos is just unbearable. Okay, I'm gonna add that. I do love the stupid Kratos yelling Zeus compilation. God of War 3 is the only game I have ever platinumed. Really? Well, that's pretty cool. I just put Tomodachi Life into my Backloggery and realized some sim-type games can never really be beaten. In those cases, you can use the null option if you want to be more like precise. I mean, you could put beaten if you're like personally done with it, like you don't feel like playing the game anymore, or you feel like you've gotten your money's worth of it. But you know, null is there if for those games that really can't be beaten, like any multiplayer games pretty much. Apex Legends, Team Fortress 2, Overwatch, those are gonna be taking this spot right here. Okay. Is there a game that you can look at and think you could speedrun? Probably. I mean, I wouldn't say that I would be very good at it, but I could probably do like a little speedrun with some practice of Ratchet and Clank 1 and 2. Mainly 1. 1 feels like a little bit easier to speedrun than 2. Maybe, I don't know about a speedrun of Crash Bandicoot, because Crash Bandicoot is, I mean, they do have the relics, but that's a little different from just like an actual speedrun of the whole game. What else? I did have to do a speedrun of God of War 1 to get a trophy for it. They like required me to beat it in under 5 hours, and I beat it in like 2 hours and 45 minutes or something. So that was pretty good. Okay. I always like to play MGS1 fast, but I could never speedrun it. I love the Spanish dub way too much to skip it. I understand. I have not heard the Spanish dub of Metal Gear Solid though. I'm only slightly familiar because I haven't actually played Metal Gear Solid 1. The only Metal Gear Solid game I've played is 2. And I thought it was alright. I have to admit, I'm not the biggest Metal Gear fan. It's not because I think they're bad, it's just that I never really got into it. It's actually really good for a PS1 dub. Yeah, I believe it. Every once in a while you get those good dubs. Like the Grinch. The Grinch has a surprisingly good PS1 dub, all things considered. Like, the Grinch's voice actor is pretty good. Okay, Spanish speakers are really lucky if they got voice actors on par with Hader and Idenk. Yeah. It wasn't aggressively Spain Spanish like the entire PS2 library, if you remember those times. Yeah, that was something else. Okay. Anyways, God of War 3 has been added successfully, and then the other game we had in there was God of War Ascension. Now, I do have the Chains of Olympus and what's the name of the other one? Ghost of Sparta. I do have those digitally on the PS3, but when we get to the digital collection, we'll go ahead and add those. Anyway, Ascension was an interesting case because Ascension was the franchise's first and last attempt at adding multiplayer. This is back when every game needed to have multiplayer for some reason. And it didn't really work out. People were not fans of it. And, as a result of the developers trying to focus, spread development between the main game and the multiplayer aspects of it, the main game is not as good. And I'm not saying Ascension is bad, but Ascension is... I don't want to say it's my least favorite God of War game, but it's definitely not that great. It has problems. I understand that it isn't for everybody. And just like God of War 3, I have beaten but not completed. And let me see how many achievements I got. Hold on. God of War Ascension, we have 25 out of 36. 25 out of 36. And there is two trophies. There's one trophy that requires you to actually go online and complete just the multiplayer tutorial, and that's all you have to do. You don't have to do anything else with the multiplayer to get trophies. So you have to go online and complete the multiplayer tutorial. Problem is, if you don't own a digital version of the game and you bought a used copy of the game, this is back when they were doing that thing where publishers didn't wanted to just wage a complete war against used games, and one of their very shitty attempts at it was to force you to get a spend an additional, if you bought a used copy of the game, you had to spend an additional $10 to get access to the online, because you had to prove something or basically it was just them trying to be assholes. And this game unfortunately came out during that time when publishers just didn't trust anybody to that bought used games and just wanted to charge people for it. So in order to get that trophy, and then with that trophy the platinum trophy, I would have to spend $10 on this game, and I ain't gonna. Two trophies, I don't care if it's a platinum trophy, that is not worth my dignity, sir, Mr. Sony. We don't do that around here. Okay, anyways, not the other box, the browser. Okay, bring that back. Was there ever a game that frustrated you to the point you dropped and stopped playing it? Yes. Xenosaga 2. Xenosaga Episode 2. Anybody who's... there's only Aiken Labs really knows about this, but it's back in my old days, I tried to do a stream series of Xenosaga 2, and I got so bored of that game. So absolutely bored of that game's convoluted, very obnoxious combat system and frustrating as hell. Just everything about it, that I dropped it. I did not finish. I played it for 5 streams, and I was like, I'm done. I can't stomach this anymore. And then I went online and saw the rest of the cutscenes, but I didn't actually finish the game myself. My opinion, in my onion, single-player focused games shouldn't require multiplayer achievements for completion status, and that doesn't happen anymore. But again, there was a time where they did. Yeah, it might have just felt like it was ending, but never did, and that's why I got that. Yeah, I think Xenosaga 2 had was the heaviest on cutscenes. All of them are really heavy on cutscenes, but Xenosaga 2 felt like you were just watching a movie. And not a good one. Okay, the boing boing wasn't even enough to keep you in. Okay, they lost me when Shion ditched her glasses. That was just the worst. The only good part of Xenos... Oh, you're talking about Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 are a Seek and Scars category. I've played a little bit of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I mean, it's fine so far, but I haven't really gotten very far in. I'm talking about Xenosaga 2. The ones on PS2. The ones that had Cosmos and Shion and a couple of other characters in there. You might have not heard of them. Or maybe you have. And I was getting, there's Xenogears on PS1. There's the Xenosaga trilogy on PS2. And then there's the Xenoblade, three Xenoblade games across Nintendo consoles. There's Xenoblade Chronicles 1, Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on Switch. Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is on Wii, and it was also recently ported to Switch, so there's that. And it was also on 3DS. Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is fairly available, unlike its successor. Okay. So I got more confused because Cosmos and Shion are in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Yeah. That doesn't help. I did made a friend of mine super pissed when I said a Xenogears character was coming to Smash Bros. Oh man. Oh man, that sounds like they just had a bad time with that. Okay. Anyways, we're doing God of War Ascension. It's alright. It's not a bad game, and arguably has the best iteration of Kratos of the original, of the older games. Because this is actually a prequel. This is the prequelist of there are two prequels in the God of War series, and this is the prequeler of the two prequels. This is back when Kratos was still like he had just well, actually, I don't want to get too much into spoilers, but this is basically when Kratos wasn't quite as angry. He wasn't quite as inhumane. He was still angry. He was still an asshole. But he was at least kind of human. Kind of relatable, maybe a little bit. We'll say it was okay. Anyways, and wait, give this one a 3. I don't know. Yeah, the 3 is fine. It's not, again, not a bad game. Just could have been better. Okay. Let's see. He was only beer deep. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, let's see how our backlog is looking now. We've got a total of 7 games added. And remember, this is not counting the wish list. The wish list does not count. We've got 2 completed, 2 beaten, and 3 unfinished. Already our backlog is looking kind of mean. But let's see how this looks like so far. So you see here, like when you have every achievement, you get one of these like fancy blue gold medals. But when it's not, when you haven't completed too much and you've only completed a certain percentage, it'll give you a different one of these medals. And there's different kinds of medals. So that's just something to look out for. Okay, picture album. Let me bring that back up and go to the next set of pictures. Heavenly Sword, the Echo and Shadow, the Colossus Collection Remastered in High Definition, and the Infamous Collection, which is actually 3 games and not 2. But I mean, one of those is kind of... Anyways, Heavenly Sword. Let's go ahead and start with that one. Okay, so let me get the... where is it? There. Okay. So, Heavenly Sword was made by Ninja Theory, and you might nowadays know Ninja Theory for Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice and its upcoming sequel. But they have been making those kinds of games for quite a while. But their first game was actually... Well, I mean, we can go ahead and look that up. Let's go ahead real quick. Ninja Theory. So, we go to their Wikipedia and look at their gaming history and... Project Mara, what the hell is that? Well, anyways, Kung Fu... I thought they made iNinja. I was wrong, but they did make a goofy game at first, I guess. That still kind of counts. A 3D fighting party game developed by Just Add Monsters. Published by... I guess they used to be called Just Add Monsters. Yeah. So they used to be called Just Add Monsters. Well, that is something with it, I didn't know. It's a random Xbox exclusive I've never heard of. Wow. Alright. Cool. I kind of want to check this game out. This looks kind of silly but fun. Alright. Anyways, but yeah, Senua Saga, Hellblade 2, and Hellblade Senua Saga. They've also made... Wow, they've made a couple of things. Dext. Never heard of this one. They made DMC Devil May Cry, the one that like is a good game but nobody liked it. They made this Infinity. What the? Huh. Anyways, Heavenly Sword. This is the one we're talking about right now. It looks like Heavenly Sword is only available on PlayStation 3. Very unfortunate. Let's look it up. Let's look up if it appears on PlayStation Now. Yeah, let's go ahead and look this up again. Go through the... I'm gonna go ahead and just keep this up because I want to see if this game is available on the system. Yes, Heavenly Sword. Okay, so cool. You can get this game on PlayStation Now. Now again, this is $100 a year. It is a big one-time investment that you'll be doing, a big yearly investment. But it does have a lot of games. I have actually considered this before, but I probably won't actually commit to PlayStation Now until like 1, I have a PS5, and 2, can afford it. Right now I can't. But yes, I'll count it. It is a method of getting Heavenly Sword in modern hardware. It would be nicer if the game was just there, available for you to purchase by itself. But I'll allow it. If it's on PlayStation Now, I'll begrudgingly allow it. Catch up with chat real quick. Okay. Man, I'm using the completed tag for games that I can't remember well enough to distinguish between beating and 100%ing. Yeah, you could use the master tag if you want for like any games that you like really have completed like true and true. Like if you've done like a speed run of a game, or you've given yourself a particular challenge or something, you can probably say, yeah, you've mastered that game. I don't know if there's any games that I would personally put in this category for myself, but hey, if you've got something, go ahead. Okay, let's see. The clear ambience makes me think of Digimon World 1. I haven't played Digimon World 1 in a very long time, but I have played Digimon World 1. Not to completion. I didn't beat it, but I did play a bit of it. And it was fun. Come back to that one day. Okay, excuse me. What the pants is a fighting party game? The only example I can think of, you know, not counting like Smash or something, would be Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers. That is I'll show you guys how that game works one day, but it is that probably classifies as a fighting party game. Okay, besides the way Street Fighter players describe Smash Bros. Go fund me for a while, man. Okay. I'm talking about games like Warrior Masters of Disguise, where I just can't remember what else there is to do outside of the main story. Yeah, fair enough. That's pretty good. Okay, let's see. Heavenly Sword. Let's go ahead and add that real quick. Heavenly Sword. and that is originally on PS3. That's we can just keep that like that. And that is owned. I have beaten that game. I can't remember what exactly is there to do as far as completing it goes. Can you? I mean, there's probably like more difficulty levels. Probably. I probably just be on like normal, if I had to guess. And yeah, I mean, I'll go back to it one day and see if there was anything else to do. Here's a great game. It's just I don't remember it being like super content packed. It's just like a very straightforward beginning to end action adventure game with a pretty intense story. You know, whether it's good or not is up to you. And I think it's a good story, but you know, personal opinion and all that. It is actually a very heavy story. Like that was a. That's when I think that's when Ninja Theory really like solidified their kind of storytelling, where it's like there's funny bits and there's a lot of character to it, but it is overall usually a very dark story. Heavenly Sword is where all of that started. It did not start with Kung Fu Chaos. It started with Heavenly Sword and continued on with Enslaved, probably with DMC. I couldn't tell you, and definitely with Hellblade. Hellblade is a prime example of like dark, gritty storytelling, but like still good storytelling. Okay. I found a game in my library I'm comfortable tagging as a mastered. Mario Kart DS, the only racing game where I mastered snaking and destroyed one of my DS's in the process. Never again. I can imagine how that's probably a little bit difficult. Anyways, this game does not have trophies, I'm pretty sure, as far as I know. Yeah, it doesn't have trophies. Okay. I bought it, and it was a really good game. So I'm gonna give it a 4. I only played it once, and it was a long time ago, but I do remember I very much enjoyed my time with it. The story was, again, very heavy, and I usually don't like heavy stories like that. But you know, even if you don't like those kind of stories, you do have to understand when they're like good, and this was good. Okay. What else was there in here? The picture album. The Echo and Shadow of the Colossus collection. Okay, so let's see. We'll just call this Echo, and then we'll call this the Echo and Shadow of the Colossus collection. Now, you guys have probably heard of Shadow of the Colossus, and you might have heard of Echo and the last. I mean, they're all games that are talked about often, but I'm not sure of how many people have actually played them. I would say Echo is a very. Actually, Heavenly Sword and Echo kind of remind me of each other a little bit. They're both like very story-heavy, action-adventure-ish games that don't really offer much replay value or much in the way of collectibles and stuff, but it's just like a very straightforward, very well-crafted experience, and it's really good. It's short. Heavenly Sword is pretty short too, actually. Huh. I didn't expect to be finding that many similarities between those two games, but yeah, they're kind of in the same vein. Like, if you enjoyed one, you probably would enjoy the other. Anyways, original system, this was originally on the PlayStation 2. There it is. Okay. And I know there are more things to do in here, though. Like, you can unlock a couple of things in that game. So I'm not gonna mark it as completed. I did finish the main story, and let me see where the what trophies I have for it. 43%, 9 out of 16. There's not that many trophies in here. So we'll go ahead and add that. 9 out of 16. And progress note. Beat not completed. I mean, I don't feel like there's much more a progress note here, but I just don't want to leave those blank. But like, this is pretty obvious. If it says beat but not completed, then you know it's a beat but not completed. Okay. It was really good. Like, I would give that game a 5 out of 5. Well, it is artistically very good. I really liked it, at least. And then you watch Jacob Geller's videos on the Eco and Shadow of the Colossus and Last Guardian games, and you'll find a new appreciation for the architecture and the visual storytelling that those games do that you didn't know you had before, but now you do. Okay. Wait, and add that. Catch up with chat real quick. Okay. Echo, isn't that the one with the super weird European box art and you play as some kid in a helmet saving a girl from shadow monsters? Yes. Now, the European box art is actually like the normal box art. Actually, let me show you guys. Hold on. It's not this one. Okay. So let's go ahead and get the images. So yeah, this is the European box art, and it's got a pretty distinct art style to it. You know, there's a I can't remember. There is an artist that the director of the game was inspired by and used their kind of art style for this. And this is a pretty good box art, I would say. This is the North American box art. Like, the fuck's going on here? Eco looks so stupid. Like, he just I'm gonna beat this guy with a stick. And then there's her back here, just kind of looking. It doesn't even look like the girl that you rescued. It just looks like some random person. And then some windmill. It's a terrible representation of what you're actually going to be playing, where this at least is artistically pleasing. At least. Anyways, unfortunately though, so we're gonna go again. Eco is not available. Well, okay. Fumito Ueda, that's the guy. Yeah. Fumito Ueda is a very, very talented, very architecture-oriented game designer. But that game is available on the maybe I shouldn't rely entirely on Wikipedia to tell me when a game is available or not. Okay, the HD remaster, yeah. So there is the HD remaster is also only available on PS3. So that means let's go look it up over here. Eco. Okay, Eco Classics HD. Okay, so yeah, we do have Eco available on PS4. So at least it's there. And it might even be available as a PS2 classic on PS4. So okay, that's good. Eco has been preserved. It's exactly what I want. I want to see my games getting preserved properly. Okay. Never finished Eco. It was a bit too frustrating. Yeah, I can see why it could be frustrating, but I personally liked it. I got something a little bit different than you. Architecture oriented. That explains the Colossi. Yeah, Fumito Ueda is a complete sucker for anything that's like weird architecture and all kinds of like architectural things, and that's what Jacob Gallery is also very interested in architecture, and that's why he usually talks about these games and any kind of architecture that he finds in games, because architecture is just like his thing. Buildings, just man. Well, actually, sometimes he even like discusses the idea of like buildings that exist, not made by man. Obviously, not in real life, but like in fiction. How like you can make buildings build a story or build a world where like the building seems like they just kind of built themselves and they exist in a void outside of just how humans would make it. And it's a whole can of worms of existential dread. If you're not ready to feel small in the universe, don't watch Jacob Geller. But he is excellent though. Okay, now, interesting, I do have Shadow of the Colossus here on PS3, but I also have the HD remaster. Okay, this is an HD remaster. The HDer remasterier version on PS4. That one is the one I actually intend on, doing stuff with. But I do have this version as well, so it's good to have both versions just in case anything happens. Not sure what would happen, but there you go. Okay. Now I know Shadow of the Colossus is a little bit different. There is a lot more stuff to do in that game, and I have not done everything. But then again, those speedruns are a pain in the ass, and that's not even in hard difficulty. I don't think I have the patience for that. But I'm not gonna give up yet, so I'll just go ahead and say beaten. Also, let me click on this link that you sent me over here real quick, just to see. Ego's Boxer is even weirder than oh my. I'm retweeting that, no. Oh man. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Thank you for sending me that. No, that. Okay. Alright. Okay. What in the world did they do to the game to justify a remaster of the remaster? Well, it's not a remaster of the remaster, it's just another remaster. Okay. This version, this Shadow of the Colossus is just increased resolution and giving it like slightly more HD textures to the original game. The PS4 one is an actual from the ground up remake of the original. But it's hard to call a remake because it's the exact same game. They only added like one little secret, and it's not a Colossus, it's not extra content, it is for the most part the same exact game, just from the ground up. Kind of like what they did with Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, instead of like what they did with God of War and Ratchet and Clank and Sly Cooper and Jak and Daxter. Basically. Anyways, North America beaten achievements. Let me check what I have here. Let's find that. Shadow of the... That's the PS4 version. I need the other Shadow of the Colossus. Where is it? Is it like... Where's the other one? Now that's weird. Yeah, because this is the PS4 version of the game, not the original. Well, let's see. That's so weird. I could have sworn it had trophies. But I guess it doesn't. Okay, never mind. Just leave that blank for now. Some time trials. I mean, speed runs. Okay, that's pretty much good enough. And this game is excellent. Even the original is still absolutely phenomenal. So I'm not gonna give it a low score or anything. Add to the game. And let me see how my backlog is looking right now. Yeah, so it's growing. It's getting things. Okay. Let's see. Well, I procrastinated enough. Time to sleep. Good night. Hello, and everyone. It was fun to chill. Well, thank you for dropping by. We're probably gonna be ending here kind of soon. I am surprised at how much, like, I've managed to just discuss in this stream. I did not know I had this power to just talk people's ears out when stream has this. Oh, wait. Go on. No. Don't disconnect. Don't. Wait. Oh. Huh? Hello? Are we back? Is it still disconnected? Okay. Trying to reconnect. Well, thankfully this is still recording. Okay. Hello? Are we back? Are we good? We'll drop collection for a minute, but... Okay. Okay, okay, we're back. Good. Yeah, we dropped connection. Sorry about that. But we should... Thankfully, the recording is still going. So on YouTube, there's just gonna be a little bit where the stream where I just like troubleshoot for a minute. But see, that's good. That's good. Pro tip for you guys that are looking to also start on streaming, for any future VTubers. If you can afford, if your machine can afford to do both at the same time, make sure you record and stream. That way you have that, again, unless you really don't care about archiving, which is fine. If you don't care about archiving your streams, you don't have to. But if you do care about archiving them, make sure you have this. You try to get this as well as possible. Make sure you are recording and streaming, not just streaming and then download the archive later, because things like that can happen, and that is not reliable. You don't want to be dealing with that. Okay, what's the other game there? The infamous games. Okay, I think this is probably the. We'll go ahead and end tonight's stream talking about the infamous games, and yeah. So let's go ahead and add a game. Let's see. So infamous. I mean, when you look it up, it's written like that, like on the PlayStation thing. Like in fact, it's right here. Yeah. Well, actually, no. They actually did write it correctly. But there's also immediately answers our question. Yes, Infamous 1, 2, and Festival of Blood, which are the ones that come in that Infamous collection, are all here. So good. You can get all three of these games from the PlayStation Now service, which is great. All three of these games are fantastic. But let's go of them one by one. So, Infamous. It is made by Sucker Punch, which is the same developer of Sly Cooper and most recently Ghost of Tsushima. Sucker Punch makes nothing but great games. I don't think they've ever made a bad game, and in fact, let me look at something else. Sucker Punch Productions should be that. Yeah. Okay, so their very first game was Rocket Robot on Wheels on Nintendo 64, and apparently even all the way back here, this game is like considered to be a cult classic. So from the very beginning, again, I've never played this one, so I can't guarantee you from personal experience, but I have played pretty much all of their other games except for Second Son, First Light, and Ghost of Tsushima. I have played everything else in here. They make nothing but fantastic games. They are some of the highest quality developers that Sony has under their belt, and they gotta make sure they're taking care of them properly. And I wish we got these games, outside of PlayStation. But, what can you do about that? But yeah, Infamous and Sly Cooper, and we're talking about Infamous right now. Hey, by the way, I want to update you on the current status of the state runoff election. Google says it's 95% counted, and if you round or don't use decimal points, it's a flat 50-50 both ways for both elections. That's probably the best info we're gonna get for several days. Yeah, we're gonna have another one of those. We're gonna need to get the count again for this one. But yeah. Anyways. So yeah, Infamous. It is actually one of the reasons I got a PS3 in the first place. It was one of the games that really like, okay, I gotta get a PS3. I want to play this game so bad. So I did. And yeah, I would say Infamous 1 and 2. Festival of Blood is good, but it's not that good compared to the other ones. But the Infamous 1 and 2 are easily some of my favorite PS3 games. Like, I don't know if my absolute favorites, but like definitely like Infamous 2 in particular, I would say is like definitely top 10, maybe even top 5 PS3 games. And as far as like open world, as far as like open world games, it's still like way up there. These are fantastic games. But let's talk about Infamous 1 first. So Infamous 1 is... I have nothing special to say about Infamous 1 that I didn't just say. It's a really good game. Well, I mean, okay, it does use the whole karma system, which I will admit, compared to how I've seen other games handle like moral choices, the way Infamous handles moral choices is very, very black and white. It's just, you can be a hero or you can be a villain. There's no in between. There's no playing around with human morality. And a lot of people do criticize the games for that, and I understand why that's not good. However, at the same time, I think that they do something with it, and that is the fact that they give you 2 separate skill trees for hero and for villain, and you can basically play the game twice, and you'll be using very different versions of the same skills, and it gives it a pretty good layer of replay value. Like, you will most likely, unless you didn't enjoy it the first time, you will probably go back and play it immediately after you're done with it to do the other karma route that you didn't do. Most people probably start with being a good guy, a hero, and then they go back and be a villain. But you can be a villain first and then a hero second. It's up to you. Whatever you want. Again, it's not a very innovative system. It's not a very advanced system as far as like handling morality goes, but it is fun. And that's what really matters here. It's fun, and it gives the games replay value, and I appreciate that. And this I did complete. I beat the game on hard difficulty. Let me go ahead and the browser for not that. Hold on. Oh, is it gonna have to load everything again? Oh no. Wait. Okay, it's gonna be around here somewhere. There they are. Okay. Infamous. So see how it's written over here is just the F is capitalized. That's kind of weird, but whatever. 50 out of 50. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. 50 out of 50. Progress note 100%. Mode. Wait, let me put the browser window back on. 100%. Mode endings. Hard beaten. Yay. Okay. So that's been done. Games 10 out of 10. Absolute bang. 100%. Would recommend. Okay. Let's see. Would you call Ghost of Tsushima the best open world experience out there? I haven't played it. I've heard it's really, really good. I really want to play it, but I haven't actually played it. But I definitely will get, like, I love everything that Sucker Punch makes, so I'll get around to that. Maybe once I get a PS5 so the game will run at like its highest possible frame rate. Or if it gets ported to PC, I might get it on PC. I don't know. They did it with Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn is available on PC now, by the way. It's on Steam. It's on the EGS. Might even be on GOG. I don't know. Fantastic game too. If you want a good open world game, that's a good one right there. Which I hate the way those list items pop in the middle of the list out of nowhere. Yeah, it's kind of combo. I don't like how the PS3 handles trophies, but then again, I prefer to how the PS4 handles it, because the PS4, for some reason, does not let you alphabetize the trophies. It just lists them in whatever order they've had activity. So basically, if you get one trophy on 10 different games, it will list those 10 games in order of how recently you got a trophy in each of them. Rather than just putting them in alphabetical order, or giving you the option to put them in alphabetical order. Which is like, that's so basic. Why wouldn't you have that? Sony? Why isn't that an option? Sony? You wanna explain that to me? Anyways, Infamous 2 is also there. Interesting thing about Infamous 2 is that, Infamous 1 is set in Empire, I believe it's called Empire City. It's just New York. It's like as likely is a fictional New York, but it's still just New York. And we've been to New York a million times over. It's a good city to explore, but we've been to New York a million times over. Infamous 2 is set in New Marais, which is a fictional version of New Orleans. And that's much more interesting than New York. I don't have anything against New York itself. I just wish we got more games that explored, open world games that explored cities outside of New York. I get why Spider-Man is set in New York. I get that there's a lot of superheroes, like from Marvel and all of those, that just they live in New York, and that's why their games have to be set in New York. But like, we've seen New York so many times already in games. Like, there's so many cities out there, not just in the United States, but like in the world. There's so many other cities to explore, so many other places to explore. I don't want to see another game set in freaking New York. For like, okay, I know Spider-Man Miles Morales is set in New York, and again, I get why it's set in New York, but like, can we please have some games set in can we have a game set in Mexico City? That would be interesting. Can we have a game set in like Berlin, in Seoul, South Korea, like South Africa, in Buenos Aires, in Toronto, something like, it's just not freaking New York. I'm tired of New York. Okay, Miles Morales should have been in Atlanta resident. That would actually make so much sense. Okay. Anyways, Infamous 2, PlayStation 3, blah blah blah. Yes, that is also have been completed. You probably have the same amount of trophies. 52 actually, you have 2 more trophies. 52 out of 52. Progress note. 100%. Both endings are beaten. Yeah. Well, at a different word, there's always a little bit different. Okay, and also 10 out of 10. Alright. So, like, Overwatch maps, but as open world settings? Yes. Yes, that would be fantastic. Something I very much appreciate about Overwatch. that the maps are set in so many different places across the world that like I was actually kind of surprised. They like say what you will about Overwatch 2, but I do appreciate that they made a level set in Sao Paulo. I think it's Sao Paulo at least. Might have been Brasilia, but it's in Brazil. I don't remember the specific city. Probably Sao Paulo, but it's still pretty cool. That it's not freaking New York again. Okay. And then there was one more game in the Infamous collection, and that is Infamous Festival of Blood. Now, Festival of Blood is not really a full-on game. It's kind of like a standalone DLC to Infamous 2. It's said in Infamous 2's world. It's got the same like gameplay. It is just like a DLC chapter to Infamous 2, but it's beefy enough to kind of be its own beast. Like it's a much more contained Infamous experience. And it's called Festival of Blood because it actually has vampires, and that's cool. Electric vampires. Like I've seen vampires, but I've never seen electric vampires before. And that is, well, I mean, Cole, the main character, he gets to be an electric vampire. It's a pretty, it's a pretty interesting series because it uses, there was a little bit of a rise back in like the late 2000s to early 2010s of the superhero open world game, where it's just open world games where you get to play as someone with superpowers, which I think is just way more fun than just like another freaking Grand Theft Auto. So Infamous, Prototype, Saints Row, believe it or not, that game that you just be a freaking superhero. And I feel like I'm missing something. There was a Spider-Man game, I think Web of Shadows or Friend or no. It was some Spider-Man game back then, like not more new ones, but like some other Spider-Man game back then was also like an open world game where you get to play as a superhero, and it was like pretty good. Okay. Even the London-ish map felt like a breath of fresh air. Yeah, even London hasn't really been that thoroughly explored in games. Like, I think Medieval 2 is set in London. I want to say it's set in London, and it feels pretty good. It's a pretty interesting map now. We'll definitely play Medieval 2 one day. Maybe if Sony remembers that Medieval 2 even exists, we'll get the game somehow. They just refuse to acknowledge the existence of Medieval 2. Like they made Medieval 1, then they remade it on the PlayStation Portable, then they ported the original to PS3 as a PlayStation 1 classic, then they made a from the ground up remake again on PS4 again, and this is all Medieval 1. They have never touched Medieval 2 since its original release on PS1. I don't get it. It's a good game. It is just as good, if not better, than Medieval 1. But like, just don't care about it for some reason. Alright, whatever. Completed. Let's see. Infamous Second Son, Festival of Blood. Let's put that. Okay. Information. 14 out of 14. Put that over here. 14 out of 14 games. Progress note. Yeah. Okay. And okay, well, this one's not a 5 out of 5. It is more like a 4 out of 4. But it's a pretty one. And there we go. That's pretty much all we're going to do. I did not expect to be taking so long doing this, but this has been very fun. So let's just look at our backlog from the entrance real quick, and then we'll go deeper in there. So we actually do have more beaten and completed games now. It's pretty good. We only added one game to the wish list. We'll probably come back and update that later. But yes, we got Condemned 2, that's Inferno Folklore, the God of War collection that has God of War 1 and 2. God of War 3, God of War Ascension, Heavenly Sword, Echo and Shadow of the Colossus collection, which has the Echo and Shadow of the Colossus collection, which has Echo and Shadow of the Colossus. And the Infamous collection, the Infamous 1, 2, and the Zero Blood. Great. We have added pretty much everything that we have time to add today. We catch up with chat one more time. And what would a Spider... Water. Jeez. Oh. Okay, there we go. What would a Spider-Man game be like if it was based on the 1960s cartoon and you had to abide by the Hays Code? So, like, no direct contact fighting. Oh man, that would be weird. That said, Spider-Man, I mean, it's not exactly what you're looking for, but Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions lets you play as 4 different Spider-Mans, one of them being like a 1930s or 1940s Spider-Man that is like old, you know, is old and is set in like the world of that character is in black and white and it's like noir and you actually get to stealth a lot more and it's pretty cool. Anyways, when will the next stream be? Probably on Thursday. I don't know when on Thursday. I don't know what we're going to be doing. Or probably... I mean, we have to finish this eventually. So we might end up doing this again. Or if we play a game, it will probably just be like a basic game that you can just like play. Like Minecraft or... you know, something that's not at a Let's Play item. No, we're not going to speedrun the cringe. Not yet. Maybe someday, I don't know. Is it the same Spider-Man Noir that appeared in that Spider-Verse? Yes, that one. That Spider-Man actually appears on Spider-Man Shadow Dimensions. That's a PS3 game, an Xbox 360 as well. Pretty good. It actually emulates quite well if you want to download the RPG CS3 emulator. Just saying. Anyways, yes. So this has been pretty much all for today. So again, I will try to come back on Thursday. That is my next day off. Minecraft will be fun. Viewers could join. I don't have a Minecraft server, unfortunately. I would definitely prefer to get a solo Minecraft experience first before I am ready to have a multiplayer Minecraft experience. But you know, it's not something I'm against. It's just I'm not ready for it yet. Maybe one day I will be. But yeah, Thursday. Tomorrow I gotta work, so I don't know exactly when or what we'll do. But I'll have until tomorrow, maybe Thursday morning, to really figure it out. Adjourn if you ever decide to do that. Yeah, absolutely. And we'll Discord server. That's something that has crossed my mind a couple times. But I like, oh man, I don't know, because a Discord server is not something easy to maneuver, and definitely in my case, because I'm working so much, I wouldn't have time to really take care of it properly. So Discord server is just something that it's just like a little idea that I would do like way into the future, not something I would do right now. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We will definitely keep doing this because we added 13 games today. I have hundreds of games. Literally hundreds of them. We're gonna be here a while. Okay, depending on how popular it gets, we'll have to vet people before letting them join Minecraft server. Yeah, fair enough. Anyways, yeah, we'll definitely be doing this again in the future. Again, we might be doing this again Thursday, or we might be doing something else on Thursday. I'm not entirely sure yet. Well, listen, I filled out my 3DS and DS library in the backlog. There's lots left to go. Yeah, there's definitely lots of stuff to do in there. Anyways, we actually got 3 viewers today. Like, it's not much, But let's see if we can raid somebody. Let me turn the browser off though. I don't want to be showing that. Okay, we'll just leave a black screen and let's see who is currently streaming. Twitch and then channel. Okay. So we got a couple of people streaming. We got Echo is streaming. We got Neotori TV. Okay. I think we're gonna go ahead and raid Echo. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Echo is a Echo is a it's a VTuber. Obviously, we're raiding a VTuber, and she's been playing Undertale and Cyberpunk 2077. She's pretty cool. She speaks English and Spanish and a little bit of Japanese as well. Actually, I don't know if she speaks a little bit of like a lot of Japanese, but hey, she can sing. She's very talented. She's very cool, very nice person. Definitely go ahead and make sure we well behaved in her chat, and let's go ahead and raid. But we need a raid message. Let's see. What's I guess. I mean, the last time we raided, the message was a not raid, so I guess we can do that. So not raid. And do we have a not symbol? That's right. I have Frankenface emotes, but that's not really gonna work on her channel. Okay. I guess we can just get a squirrel or a chipmunk. Wait. There we go. That. And copy that. And there we go. You really need a special message to raid. Apparently that's Twitch culture. Like, I know you and I are particularly not used to doing like raid messages because we don't usually raid, but yeah, apparently that's like just a very common thing. When you when you raid somebody, you get a raid message going. Anyways, I'll see you guys hopefully on a Thursday. If not, obviously I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter. And yes, go ahead and raid Echo, start raid. There is our message, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. And let's go ahead. It's gonna raid in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a good night, everybody.